Situation that could have been avoided.
3 years after an autistic student suddenly dies on the Detroit school bus, we are seeing video of exactly what happened. Fox News' Randy Wimber joins us live with an update. Randy.
Hey guys, the Bernstein law firm says that within those 3 years, it is yet to come to terms with the legal team representing the bus company and Detroit Public Schools Community District over what happened here. They're also saying that no policy changes have been made to protect students, something they are demanding in their lawsuit.
We go, Carl. We ain't going nowhere, Carl. You all right? You all right, Carl?
It's been nearly 3 years since Carl Johnson, an autistic special needs student, died after having a seizure on a bus while waiting to go into a school. And the Bernstein law firm says DPSCD has done nothing to keep a similar tragedy from happening.
I mean, you would assume that they would jump on this and fix the problems, but we have not seen any evidence that they are making the necessary changes to protect these vulnerable students.
Attorneys Mark Bernstein and Joe Sigleric shared video of the incident with The Edge. It happened outside the Jerry L. White Center back in July of 2018, the first day of DPSCD's extended year program for special needs students.
8 o'clock, I think it's done at 8 o'clock.
Carl was not allowed to go inside because the bus arrived 10 minutes before class began.
So now you've effectively restrained this child on the bus. He's on a hot bus, it's not very well ventilated, and then he has the seizure and nobody provides medical attention because nobody knows how.
Carl falls over, wedged between seats, his airway restricted, and no one sits him up. Early on in the 17-minute video, different staffers are seen attending to Carl and then leaving to get help. The bus driver calls the company's dispatch, who initially did not pick up, before calling 911. EMTs would not arrive for another 15 minutes or so. Carl was taken to Sinai Grace Hospital. He died later that afternoon.
There's no plan in place to address an emergency situation. The plan is call the nurse. Well, the nurse is in the school and then obviously has to take a period of time to get to the bus.
The Bernstein law firm says there should have been a nurse on the bus when Carl was picked up. The district knew he was prone to seizures, but that information was not relayed to the Jerry L. White Center until the first day of classes, 4 weeks after Carl's regular school year ended.
There was no training, no planning, no coordination, no responsibility for these most vulnerable students. And 3 years later, there have been no changes.
The Bernstein law firm is representing Carl's family in a suit against DPSCD, Trinity Transportation, and 5 staffers. The firm says what happened to Carl could happen to other students.
This is a systemic failure. There are other children, probably about 24, 25 children a year, who come from different school systems, who then go to the extended year program at the Jerry L. White Center. And these nurses, these teachers, they don't have the information they need to address each child's needs until the first day of school.
All right, the firm says those staffers were put in a compromising situation simply because they did not have the proper training to help Carl. There was one point in that video where a staffer left to get a defibrillator to shock Carl after he went into cardiac arrest, but then left with that defibrillator in search of the pads that go with it, unaware that those pads were attached to the machine. Now, we have a statement from DPSCD, and it reads, although this incident occurred nearly 3 years ago, the district is still feeling the hurt caused by the loss of Carl. As this is an active legal case, there are details that would be careless and insensitive to Carl and his family to discuss in the media. That statement from DPSCD, this case ongoing. Huel, Taryn?
Troubling story, Randy. Thank you for that report. A woman has died after a horrific crash late this afternoon in Detroit. It happened on 7 Mile near the Sherwood Forest neighborhood. Police say a blue Dodge Avenger clipped an SUV on 7 Mile before losing control and ramming into a utility pole. Both people inside that car were ejected. Witnesses tell Fox 2 the car was weaving in and out of traffic and that speeding on